Yo, today I'm going over my Reddit comments and we're carrying on from the last part that I left off. And this is a good question which I'm going to dedicate this video to. How do you get your sleep routine fixed? It's a great question. And first things first, I am not a doctor or a specialist in any way about sleeping patterns, and I myself struggle with sleeping patterns a lot of the time. But I think this is going to be a great video to discuss about sleep patterns, and hopefully, you guys have some valuable stuff to say too. Now, let's get into what this person had asked. I'm tired of staying up until almost 3 a.m. and then sleeping in all morning, leaving me no time to get things done that I need to do. How do I fix this? Any advice or routines to get back into a healthy sleep routine? Now, I've at a lot of times I've been this person. I've been asking the question of how do I fix my sleep routine. So I hope this is going to be beneficial, and let's just give it a go. Now, let's see what I had to say. I think that my response, actually, before we get into it, let me just read it. You just need to make rules, be serious about them, and practice self-discipline. For example, you can set an alarm for a time when you should get into sleep mode, where you don't use any form of entertainment, and make that your standard. Be consistent and don't give up, even if we fail a few times. Now, I'm gonna be honest. The first part of my answer is quite broad, and it could be applied to any question really. So it doesn't really crack down on how do you start getting into a better sleeping pattern. The example I give is quite a good one. It's about setting an alarm when you should get into sleep mode, not using form of entertainment, and make that your standard. But again, like, specifically, how do you start to adopt better sleeping patterns? Now, I looked into like certain websites, and specifically NHS, which is the healthcare for the UK, and there's some interesting things that's come up that I'd like to talk about as well. So first things first, we need to know what is the recommended hours of sleep for adults. Like, what is the time that a normal adult should really sleep on average? Now, the average I found on the NHS, which is, I'm pretty sure, the average in general, correct me if I'm wrong, for an adult is 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Now, you can look up the NHS yourself, or whichever local one your country that you're from, you can look that up and check that out. But it's 7 to 9 hours of sleep, and that's the recommended hours. Now, it doesn't consider individual cases where someone might need more hours, someone can have less hours. It's more of a generalized it's more of a generalized recommendation. So when it comes to specific cases, you might be able to sleep less than that. You might be able to sleep 4 hours. Hell, you might even have to sleep 12 hours to get a good night's sleep. But it depends on you. Now, I have written a newsletter post about this specific topic, which I will eventually do a newsletter insight on, and it's called Adopting Better Sleep Habits, and I uploaded it on the 19th of January of this year. So if you're watching this video now, check out that video. It's probably going to be uploaded by now, and see what I have to say. Hopefully it adds on more to this. Now, some advice I had seen online from various websites, it goes into more practical advice about how can you actually start to improve your sleep, like actual practical advice. And the first thing I had seen which caught my eye was about your bedroom. Now, we all of our bedrooms, if you are blessed to have a bedroom, that place is your place to go bed, and it's a place where you're supposed to be comfortable, relaxed, and be able to have that peace and quiet while you're asleep. So the aim is to make a bedroom somewhere that's quiet, dark, relaxing, and comfortable when you're about to sleep. And that is the ideal situation. Of course, not everyone is blessed like that, and you should really count your blessings and be thankful to God. If you don't believe in God, consider it. You should really be thankful to God because you've been blessed with in a situation where other people don't have as much as you, and that could be a way for you to practice gratitude. Now, I highlighted here consistency, consistency, consistency. I mentioned it here 5 months ago about how important it is to be consistent, and why here I'll go into why consistency is a great thing for, especially when it comes to sleeping patterns. When you're consistent with something, your brain starts to follow that routine because your brain loves to follow a pattern. And if you're constantly following a pattern from, for example, 11 p.m. you go to sleep, 7 a.m. you wake up, just for example, that's your like 8 hours of sleep. Your brain will start to pick up that routine, and around 11 p.m. you'll start to get tired. Around 7 a.m. you'll start to wake up if you consistently do it, and you won't need an alarm or a reminder. Or you won't need a reminder to go to sleep. You won't need an alarm to wake you up. You'll follow that routine. So try your best to stick to a routine that you can follow. You know, obviously you have your life, you have things that you have commitments, you have occasions, you have holidays, you have reasons, but try to follow at least just a structure. You know, it helps your brain follow it, so you don't be confused about what you can't go to sleep, you can't wake up on time, etc., etc. Like this person and like me sometimes. So that is one of the keys. Now, next one is one that I really resonated with, is avoid eating and drinking before bed. And you might think, why would you want to do that? Now, I think of two reasons why I wouldn't want to do that. The first reason being is that when you eat food, you start to digest, and that uses up a lot of your energy, or some of your energy in your body. Now, as you're trying to go to sleep, it can really mess up with that function of you're trying to go to sleep, but you're trying to digest the food, and it can cause you to have like quite a rough sleep. And it's happened to me before where I eat a big meal and I'm trying to go to bed, and I'm thinking, why did I just have the worst night of sleep in my life? Well, maybe a few of those hours your belly was focused on digesting and not actually trying to rest. Second one is about the drinking aspect. Is, for example, if you drink a lot of water or a lot of juice before you go to bed, you're gonna want to go to the toilet. And imagine you sleep for 7 hours, and 4 hours of that sleep you want to go. You think about having a piss. You think about going to the toilet for 4 hours of your sleep, and of course that's probably not the way it works. But avoid drinking before sleeping, because then you're gonna lay down in bed for 5 minutes, closing your eyes, but then thinking about, oh, actually I might need to go to the toilet because I just drank some water and I feel like going to the toilet. You get up, go to the toilet. You realize you don't need to take a piss. You go back upstairs to lay back down. 10 minutes pass by. You want to go. You think, oh, I need to go now. You go downstairs. No, you don't feel like taking a piss anymore. You know, and now you're really taking a piss. Literally, that's a double entendre. So yeah, that is a very key one right there. Avoiding eating and drinking before bed. Next one is removing distractions. Now this is a very key one. It's important to get rid of anything that can distract you before you go to sleep. For example, using your phone, watching a TV show, reading books or anything like that. Even like, you know, of course I know reading books can be good, but avoid anything that can keep you awake and could count as a form of distraction for you to when you're about to sleep. So that includes reading, watching stuff, texting people, going on your phone, playing games, toys, anything like that. Avoid that, and have it like an hour period before you sleep, or at least, you know, start with 10 minutes. Start with 10 minutes and build up from that, where a period of time where you don't have anything that you're distracted with and you're preparing to go to sleep. Next one is exercise and diet, and this is one that I had seen that's been recommended from the NHS, and they actually have a list of things which I actually go through. Why not? So we'll start off with improving your sleep through diet and exercise, and they mentioned that a good diet and regular physical exercise can help us to relax and get better sleep. The opposite is also true. An unhealthy diet and lack of exercise can stop us from sleeping well. So yeah, sorry about that. So I said, so it mentions about importance of exercise and says that regular exercise helps with sleep. And then it says avoid exercising 9 minutes before bed. Who's gonna exercise 30 minutes before sleeping anyway, or 90 minutes? But it recommends it. It doesn't mention what benefits they are from. But look, it's the NHS. They're telling the truth, most likely. And So yeah, generally being a healthier person, it helps with your sleeping, I'm assuming. So that's a great thing to consider. Now the next things they mention is having a great good sleep routine, sleep hygiene. Well, that's the question. We want to have a good sleep routine. Um, Relax and unwind, and try meditation to help you sleep. Try mindfulness for sleep. Create the right sleep environment, and do not force sleep. Let's get into do not force sleep. If you're lying awake, unable to sleep, do not try to force it. If you're tired and enjoying the feeling of resting, then sleep may naturally take over. But if you cannot sleep, get up and sit in a comfy place and do something relaxing like reading a book or listening to quiet music. Only go back to bed when you feel sleepier. I don't know how I feel about that. I'll be honest. I don't think I really agree with that. I think obviously this is my opinion where I've gone into bed and not been able to sleep for like an hour, but I just stay with my eyes closed, laying down. I stay going to sleep. And have you ever had that time when you sleep and you're thinking of thoughts? You're thinking about, oh, what am I going to do next week? What am I going to do next month? What am I going to do when I wake up? I'm going to be so productive in the morning, whatever. Um, and then you catch yourself thinking while you're laying down, closing your eyes, and you catch yourself and you're like, don't think about nothing, don't think about nothing, and you think about everything except nothing. Um, I personally look. This is what I would recommend. And again, look, I would say listen to NHS before you listen to me, because if you're listening to me first, then either I'm good or I'm a problem, and you're the problem with me. I think that if you have commitments, for example, a job or some other form of responsibility, like a business, your family, your friends, caretaking, for example, early in the morning, and you need to sleep so you can wake up. I think it's best to just lay your backside on that bed. Don't get up until you sleep. Don't give up. Keep your eyes closed and keep telling yourself, don't think thoughts. Don't think thoughts. And this actually leads into a point which I haven't actually written about. Sometimes it's not all in the notes, but try to avoid thinking too much as possible when you're sleeping. One of the biggest reasons, which I'm thinking this as I speak, one of the biggest reasons of not being able to sleep is overthinking while you're laying down. For example, like this happened to me a few days ago actually, but thank God, alhamdulillah, I caught myself before I continued on with the pattern. I was sleeping at like 12 a.m. and I was laying down in bed, but I was constantly thinking of video ideas. I was thinking about ideas for the news there. I was thinking about this and that and work and whatever. And I was laying down for it must have been at least like 20 minutes, but the time was kind of going by quick. But I was thinking about so much stuff, but I was in between sleep and not sleep. But I just caught myself and said, look, don't think about anything else, just sleep. Just take all those thoughts out of your mind. Think about tomorrow morning. Think about first thing tomorrow. You can think about as much as you want, but for now, just rest. And that helped, and I actually did end up resting. So one thing that could prevent you from sleeping is overthinking while you're laying down and thinking about so many things, which is a cause for you to not sleep. The best thing I can recommend is just to say to yourself, look, stop thinking about this now. Think about it tomorrow, first thing tomorrow, or think about tomorrow afternoon. Right now, you just have to sleep. That's your only goal for tonight. You don't have nothing else to do. Your day is over now. Tomorrow is a new day. Think about it then. And that helps a lot. Now, I guess I'll end off with the last bit of my advice, which is to be consistent and don't give up, even if you fail a few times. So even if a few nights you try all of these tips and all of these little pieces of advices and it doesn't help you in any way, you still have a bad sleeping pattern, don't give up. Just keep trying it. Keep hitting that ice block with the ice pick, and you'll find a way. You just have to be very resilient and be very stubborn about achieving this goal of sleeping better night, having a better sleeping habit and a better sleep routine. Be very stubborn about it and find a way to show your mind that you are not going to give up on this no matter what, and your mind will find a way to liaise with you and agree with you, even though your mind is you, but you will find a way if you keep going at it. I think if I talk anymore on this matter, I think I'm just gonna be overdoing it. Thank you for watching.